What's going on, everyone? SiNxRealize here. It is now 2023 and we are just going to do a quick recap of everything that we have done in 2022, go over our goals, see which ones we hit, see which ones we didn't hit, as well as talk about our goals going into 2023. It's just going to be a super chill video today, so there's not going to be too much super heavy editing or anything, just cuts every now and then. But first, of course, let's go over everything that has happened in 2022. So at the start of the year, I was still streaming only over here on YouTube, but as the months went by, I decided to throw that out the window and come back to Twitch, but instead doing simulcasting, which means streaming on both YouTube and Twitch at the same time. Later on this year, I was contacted by people at Trovo to add their website in, and I figured I might as well give it a shot. So we've been doing that. We've been streaming on 3 different platforms at the same time since I think it was November, something like that. So pretty close to the end of the year. We've only been doing it for like 2 months. And in October, we did get to work again with the National Breast Cancer Foundation and their Game Pink initiative that they do every year. And this past year was our biggest year yet. We ended up raising $650, which isn't too much more from the previous years, but it is still hype to pass that last milestone. And during that charity marathon, we were able to work with Turtle Beach and do a giveaway for that, as well as them giving me my own pair of headphones. And then at some point in December, we did end up getting our very own PNG tuber done, or VTuber. And then during this year as well, we did end up doing a 30 and 30 challenge, which was uploading 30 videos in 30 days, doing one every day just to see how it went. That was a challenge in itself, and I'm shocked that I actually did it purely on Fortnite content. Would I do it again? Probably not. But it was a good experience nonetheless doing that. So now we're just going to talk about the goals that I did set for this past year. We had upgrade my computer, hit 1,000 subs here on the channel, post one or more videos each week, post on Instagram at least 1 time a week, stream 3 days a week, release new merch, and drop my Patreon. So when it comes to upgrading the computer, I did end up upgrading it, luckily enough. I got some parts replaced in it. I got a new motherboard, CPU. The next thing I think I want to upgrade is my GPU, because that thing is old. And also it's not really a top end anymore. We didn't end up hitting 1,000 subs on this channel either, which is unfortunate because we did start getting really close once I was able to start doing shorts, because I noticed that doing shorts, there was a lot more growth doing that. I'll be honest, for growth wise, this year was my biggest year for growth. I don't remember the exact number of subs that I gained off the top of my head, but I believe I started this year probably close to between 500 and 600, I think. So I gained like a couple hundred, which is always nice. Posting 1 video a week. If you count shorts, yes. If you count just long form content, no. But I believe for the most part, I have been uploading at least something each week. The uploading 1 video a week at least is kind of like a gray area with how shorts and long form content work. If we're counting just long form content, I did not do a video every single week. It got hard. I felt burnt out. Shorts were super easy to consume and so much easier to make. So if you count shorts, oh, absolutely. If anything, I was doing like maybe like 1 a day, a handful every week. I was kind of on my game with that a little bit. Posting on Instagram at least once a week. Ha! Didn't happen. No. I tried. I forgot about Instagram and just stopped caring. I'll keep it a buck. Also, if you guys want to check out my Instagram, it's just SiNxRealize. Everything is, of course, linked in the description if you guys want to check it out. Stream 3 times a week. I would count that as a win for me. I believe for the most part, except for when I was having like my burnout weeks and all that stuff, where maybe the times I didn't really stream 3 times a week, but even then it was just for like a very short period, like maybe 2 weeks tops. But I do say we did hit that goal. Release new merch. We did end up dropping the new merch. We ended up using my new logo, which is all over the place. You guys can probably see it in the corner where the sub thing is. You guys can see it down below. You can see it literally everywhere. It's my new profile picture, man. Come on. If you haven't seen it, I don't know how you have. I don't know how you haven't seen it. If anything, I'm more impressed that you haven't seen it. You gotta be blind. And then we also did end up dropping a Patreon, but that was very, very short-lived. I realized putting content on there it didn't feel worth it to me, because I still have the videos on my channel technically, but they're like unlisted and all that stuff. They have 0 views, which means no one that was sub to the Patreon was even really looking at it to begin with. So it made it not really worth it. So I stopped really pushing it, and then I just canceled it completely. Told whoever was subbed over there that I canceled it, and to make sure that theirs gets canceled as well. So that was a yes, but it was also a big flop. I feel like I don't have enough to give for the Patreon to actually work. But I will keep it a stack. This year was definitely one of the hardest years for me as a content creator. A lot of the time I would start to feel depressed about the fact that my content, all my content statistics were kind of just at a standstill for the most part. I wasn't really seeing much growth or anything, and I was like, what am I doing wrong? I would look at videos, I would look at all sorts of things trying to understand the algorithm, and I just couldn't really wrap my head around it. So that kind of put me on a little bit of a spiral, making me burn out, not wanting to do it, and pretty much just ready to give up on making content in general. I was on the edge of just saying screw it for the rest of this year and not do anything. And I did end up tweeting loosely about possibly quitting making content after this next year if I'm not seeing myself doing any better. Because unfortunately I am a big numbers guy. Seeing numbers up is good. Seeing them not moving is a little bit of a rough patch, and makes me think I need to be doing something different with my content. So that tweet honestly still stands today. This could very well be my last year for making content, and if it isn't my last year making content, I'm not going to be putting like a full focus on the forefront on making content. I'll just make it whenever I pretty much feel like it. But to kind of get out of this depressing talk here, we're going to talk about the goals for 2023. So one of the things I want to do is focus less on streaming and just make more and better content. So essentially when it's going to come down to the streaming part, I'll just stream whenever I pretty much feel like it, which honestly it could still end up being those 3 days a week that I do typically stream, because I've been kind of just stuck doing that. But if I don't feel like streaming, I'm not going to force myself to stream. I'm not going to feel like I need to make up a day of streaming because I didn't stream one day. Like an example is if I don't feel up to it on the Mondays that I was streaming, I would try to make up for it, whether it's on Tuesday or Thursday, or if I need to on the weekend. I still do want to hit 1,000 subs on this main channel here. We are relatively close to it. We are less than 100 subs away from that, which would be super hype, because that is one thing that I have been trying to get for the longest time. Pretty much since I made this channel, I've been like wanting to hit 1K subs just because I feel like it's a nice milestone to be hitting. And then I also want to hit 500 subscribers over on the podcast channel, because if you guys haven't heard or been paying attention to my Twitter or anything, the new podcast episode should be going up on January 9th. It'll be the start of season 2 of the SiNxReview. We do have the wonderful Flora Marigold on the channel to talk about all of her stuff. But on the podcast channel, it's literally just going to be the SiNxReview. It'll be the full podcast, which will also be on Spotify, Apple, all that other stuff, yada yada. But we are also going to be putting shorts from the podcast as well up there to help push that a little bit more. And for anyone who did end up missing the charity stream, I did have an incentive to run a charity tournament, which I do want to do one. And I'm going to have to try to figure out what game, who to invite, maybe try to get some sponsorships for it to help with the prize pool. Because I already have like a rough idea on how I want to run it, but it's finding all the other requirements to actually run it is the biggest thing for me. And over the past like 2 months or something like that, I've been starting to dabble into using FL Studio. So I want to start making music again, like EDM sort of music. So another goal for me is just to make 5 new songs and put those out. I'm still trying to learn how to use it, which it's really hard to use. I thought it was going to be an easy peasy lemon squeezy, one quick tutorial, done. No, I've looked up like 10, 15 different videos. All of them are telling me all these different things, and I'm very confused, and I need lots of help. And I do have, of course, some like personal goals. One of them is just being a sober Sally for a whole year, which honestly it shouldn't be very difficult for me. I don't really do much to begin with. And the last personal one really is just being healthier for the most part, whether it's feeling healthier mentally, physically, just like in general. I just want to feel healthy. That's it. I don't care like if I end up losing weight. I don't care if I gain weight. I just want to feel healthy. Yeah, honestly, that's about all I got for today. Thank you everyone so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoy this. Let me know in the comments down below what your guys' goals are for 2023 as well. And if you guys are new here, you guys should hit that subscribe button and hit the like button as well for me. Helps me out. Helps you out. I lied. That does not help you out, but it helps me especially. But on that note, I'm gonna get on out of here. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.